should be live. Go ahead and drop in the chat if you can hear me and you can see me. VIPs, I'm relying on you for this one if you can. YouTube, go ahead and drop in the chat as well if you can hear me and you can see me clearly. Everything's looking good. Amazing. Hi, Charles. Hi there, Gabby, Ricky, Sarah, Dakota, David, Kristen, Keisha, David, Dee, Jimmy, Lisa, Sarah, Radiant, Chris, Donna. Good to see all of you here. We just had a great session, probably one of my favorite sessions with the VIPs. I enjoyed it, and I had some time for Q&A, which I'm very happy about. Today is day 3. Let me just honor everybody in the room for showing up for day 3. Most people do not make it this far, so I want to congratulate you. I want to honor you. Let's jump right in. As a reminder, at the end of this session, I will have your workbook password for you, and I will have your workbook password, and then I also have a special update for you that I'm excited to share. People are saying volume is low. Do you mind turning up the volume for me? Thank you on the volume sliders. Thank you. Alrighty, let me know if that's better. Hopefully you can hear me better. Better, amazing. Alrighty, everybody, let's jump straight into this so that we do not waste any time. Today, I'm going to teach you the most powerful skill that you can have in business. Oh, do you mind sharing my slides, please? Thank you so much. Jumping straight into the presentation. Here we go. Okay, today I'm going to teach you the most powerful skill that you can have in business, and that is distribution. Who here remembers our 3-step formula to make money with digital products? Let's see. Drop it in the chat. What are the 3 steps that we've been covering for the first 2 episodes of the Digital Launch Challenge? 3 steps. Discover, develop. There we go. I got 2 of them. Discover, develop. Anybody remember the 3rd one? Distribute. There we go. Chrislyn, credit to you. Already, I love it. You guys got it down. 3 Ds. There we go. So our 3-step formula to make money with non-expert digital products is develop, it is distribute, and it is deliver. Now, yesterday was all about our first step, which was develop, and we learned a bunch of insane stuff. We learned how to develop your first digital product, even if you have no previous knowledge or expertise, by taking advantage of the proprietary AI. We learned the difference between regular digital products and non-expert digital products, and why the latter is much easier to sell. And we also learned the 3 proven formats of non-expert digital products that you can create that practically set you up for success. There we go. You discovered how to take the content that AI created for us and turn it into a 90-minute screen recording broken down into 5 to 10 videos. That's all our digital product is. And you even saw how you can record even if you don't want to show your face. Now, if you missed any of that, don't worry. You can go back and you can watch this session later. For now, I just want to focus on what we will cover today, because even if you still don't have a digital product, or even if you missed the last session, this will still be insanely useful and it will make a ton of sense to you. Now, today, you are going to learn the 2nd step of our equation, which is how to distribute your product to start making sales passively in as little as 7 days. And I can say one thing, a lot of sales gurus would be very upset with me for saying this right now. But for the next hour, I want you to forget the word sales. I know, very big ask. It might sound counterintuitive at first, because how do you even make money without sales? The truth is, the beauty of Digital Products 2.0 is that you don't need to sell. So if you're someone who's incredibly afraid of the word sales, that's good news for you, because we won't be doing any of that here. Now, what we are going to do instead is far more powerful, and we will talk more about that here in just a moment. Now, my main focus here today is to help you understand the power of distribution. And if you have more questions, we'll address them at the end of today. So today you're going to discover how to access an untapped source of buyers that are moving $2 to $3 million a month in digital product sales, how to take advantage of the Amazon flywheel effect so that whenever other people sell more, you sell more. And we're going to talk about how to take one digital product and multiply it into multiple streams of income. So let's start by establishing that WAP is the best place for people to make money online with digital products. WAP is the biggest digital marketplace that maybe you have never heard of. It is a silent marketplace out there that most people aren't even aware of. And this is where users are earning over $1 billion per year with digital products. Let me put that into perspective for you. If you took that 1 billion and you converted it into $100 bills, it would create a stack of cash over 1 kilometer. I know I'm British, okay, kilometers, miles. It would create a stack of cash over 1 kilometer tall, which is higher than 2 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. Or you could think about it this way. If you earned $100,000 per year, it would take you 10,000 years to earn $1 billion. That's longer than all of recorded human civilization. Now, that's the scale of how much people are earning with digital products from one platform. And the reason why it's the best place for people to actually make money online with digital products is because it is by far the platform where people selling digital products make the most money, and that's even as beginners just getting started. You can literally Google how much the average user makes on WAP, and it will give you the answer. And the average user selling on WAP, you can go and do this after, the average user selling on WAP is making $7,382 per month. And we actually checked the stat out more recently with the WAP team, and right now that number is actually closer to $9,000 a month. That's the new average. There's literally no other digital product platform that gets even close to this level of earnings from their users. Trying to sell digital products without WAP, it's kind of like trying to shave with a slice of bread. It just makes absolutely no sense. Now, how is it possible that the average user on WAP makes upwards of $9,000 a month when most people trying to sell digital products, they can't even make a single sale? Well, there's a very specific reason for that. Because WAP, they give you distribution for free. And as I already stated, distribution is 100 times more powerful than sales. And failing to understand this simple concept is the reason that most people cannot sell a single unit of the digital product. Let me explain. Imagine you're selling homemade cookies. You have 2 options. Option number 1 is you can stand on a random street corner with a sign trying to convince every passerby stranger to stop and to buy your cookies. You would spend most of your time explaining what makes your cookie special, why they should try them, and then trying to convince people who aren't even thinking about cookies to make a purchase. Now, option 2 is you could place your cookies in a busy mall's food court right next to the sign that says desserts. People who walk up to that counter, they're already hungry and they're already looking for something sweet, and they've already decided that they will buy. You don't have to convince them that they want cookies. They're already there, and they're already looking for something that you offer. Now, which one would you prefer to have? Drop in the chat, 1 or 2. Option 1 or option 2. Let me see those numbers in the chat. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Most digital product creators are standing on that random street corner, which is option 1, and they're trying to convince uninterested passers. They spend all of their time and all of their money trying to convince people who would never buy their product in the first place. Now, the smartest creators, they are placing their products on platforms like WAP, which is exactly where customers are already browsing with their wallets out. Now, wouldn't it be much easier to make a few sales a day if all you had to do was put your product in front of a handful of people who are already looking to buy what you sell? And instead of trying to convince hundreds of strangers one at a time who have no interest in what you sell. That is the whole point of distribution. When you list your digital product on WAP's marketplace, it's like having your cookies in that dessert section. You're not trying to create demand. You are simply making your product available to people who already have the desire and the intention to buy. They are pre-sold on the concept, and they just need to find the right solution. That is distribution. Now, that's why every single big brand on the shelves of Walmart, you would hardly ever see any of them trying to sell you their product. At most, they will have a few ads running on social media, but they will never come knocking on your door. They will never call you selling their products. They're never going to DM you about their promotions. And yet, all of those brands are moving millions of dollars a week without ever doing any selling. And the reason is because they don't actually need to. After all, they know how to position their products in front of customers who are already looking for what they sell. And if you want to succeed with digital products, you need to forget the word sales. Stop trying to force people into buying your digital product, and instead focus on just positioning your product where your ideal customer is already hanging out. How much easier would it be for you to sell your product if it were positioned at all of the right digital shelves where millions of people are browsing on a daily basis? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do in this live session. So all we are doing here is we are uploading our digital products 2.0 to WAP, and we're making WAP sell it for us. Let's ask the question, how much is the marketplace selling a month passively, just internally for users who are already browsing on WAP? Let's answer that question. The answer to that question is $2 to $3 million a month worth of digital products. That is someone who is already on WAP, already purchased another digital product, and is actively looking to buy more digital products on the platform. That means that you can get sales passively, literally without you having to do anything. And that is the WAP marketplace. Now, like, passive sales is like a touchy subject because it doesn't really sound real. But reality is there's $2 to $3 million of buyers on the WAP site that are already spending money just from WAP, not from external platforms. Now, as a digital product creator, your main role is uploading a product to WAP, and then you have to let WAP distribute your product for you, because they know exactly how to turn these simple digital products into reliable money printing machines. Now, there's no one who knows how to sell digital products online better than WAP, in my opinion. Now, after all, they have sold over $1 billion of digital products. Now, it's funny. We were speaking with the WAP team, and they were telling us about their marketplace. And they told us, they said, it's crazy. There's these little digital products that started getting sales from the marketplace just a few months ago. And then we started to optimize our algorithm to help these creators get more sales passively from the marketplace. Fast forward a few months, and now these digital products are selling $2 to $3 million a month completely passively just by ranking on the marketplace. What they meant was they have optimized their algorithm to push certain digital products. You know how your social media, if you go on your Instagram, it's going to show you everything that you're interested in. You go on your TikTok, like, you get stuck in that for hours and hours and hours because they're so good at giving you stuff that you want. Well, WAP has an algorithm like that. They are pushing your digital products out to people that are already interested. Daniela said Facebook. Exactly. Yeah. That emoji right there that you just gave. Slightly suspicious, but hey, it's effective nonetheless. Now, at first, we didn't really fully understand this concept, but they kept on explaining it to us. Take a look at this. This is what he said. He said, your digital product has gotten, this digital product has gotten 1,506 sales from the marketplace in the last 3 days. And they only have 1,700 members total, meaning that less than 200 of their sales came from outside of WAP. Everything else came from people who are already hanging out on the WAP app looking to buy exactly what he sold. He just positioned his product in the right place. It's just like getting a physical product on the first page of Amazon. Your product will naturally get a lot of sales due to the number of decided buyers seeing that digital product. And that's when it clicked for us. The WAP marketplace follows the exact same concept as Amazon, but for digital products instead of physical products. And as you know, digital products are already a thing. They've been a thing for years now, just like e-commerce was already a thing before Amazon. But now, when Amazon got into the picture, that's when things went 100x. And the same trend is repeating with digital products and WAP right in this moment. Now, if you want to take full advantage of this opportunity before everybody else jumps in, the best way to do it is through what I call a forced distribution method. And that's the method that we use to basically force WAP's algorithm to give free distribution to our products. We give it exactly what WAP wants. Now, what does WAP want? Well, let's ask ourselves, what do all of the apps on your phone want? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, what are they all optimized for? Drop in the chat below. What do you think all of these apps optimize for? Information, that's a good one. Attention, content, attention, videos, socializing, engagement, views. They want time spent on the app. What all of the apps on your phone want is for users to spend more time on their apps. And WAP is exactly the same. The more time users spend on WAP, the more products they will see. And then the more products that users see, the more products they will buy. And then the more products that users buy, the more money the WAP makes. It's a simple snowball effect. And that's exactly how digital products, or this exact example of a digital product, went from 200 users to 1,700 users in a matter of 3 days, all coming from the WAP marketplace. So that's $500 sales, 500 sales a day coming from the WAP marketplace for this one digital product. Now you can do the math on how much that is, how much that would turn into. Let's just say the product goes for about $50. 500 sales of that a day equates to $25,000 a day in sales for your digital product. That is the size of this opportunity that we're talking about. Now, let's be real. Not everyone is going to get 500 sales a day, just like that example that I gave you. In fact, most people won't get that many at all, but that's totally fine. The reason being is because let's say that you get not even 10% of that. Let's say like 1% of that, 1% of that amount. That would equate into 5 sales a day to your digital product. That's $250 a day in sales for you. In a month, that's $7,500 a month. Now, I know you still might think, but hey, how realistic is that figure actually to get? Well, remember our quick Google search from earlier. That's exactly how much the average user makes on WAP every single month. So the answer to that question is quite realistic. Now, tell me in the chat below, do you think that would make a difference in you launching your business? Adding an extra, or make a difference in your life, I should say, adding an extra $7,500 a month to whatever you're doing right now. Now, I'm sure for most people, that would be enough for them. That would be enough for them to quit their jobs. It would be enough for them to have the opportunity to fully focus on growing their business. Or for some people, it's just enough disposable income to stop having to rely paycheck to paycheck. Now, let me go back here to this slide because I don't think I finished this one. There we go. Now you can read all of them. Now, that's what really gives you control, which is ownership of the decisions that you make. Because when you stop depending on your paycheck to pay your bills, that's when you go from doing things from needing to do them all the way to doing things because you want to do them. And there's not a more powerful shift in somebody's life than going through this change. And that is what it means to reach your turning point that I told you on day one. Now, just as you've seen, all it takes for you to get there is 5 sales a day. There are people getting 500 of those in the exact same place that your digital product will be distributed at. Do you see how that's not unrealistic at all for you to achieve your turning point, just like these people? And by the way, those are the numbers for one digital product only. Nothing stops you from creating 2, 3, 5, 10 of them once you're ready. And once one of them hits, it can go crazy. Just like JC here, who made $16,000 within 24 hours of uploading his digital product to WAP. And as you can see, he's just a regular guy. In fact, he doesn't even have a profile picture or a proper username on his account. Now, that's not just a one-off, by the way, because that very same day, this other person, Connor, also hit $16,000 within 24 hours of uploading his product to WAP. And those are not old examples of something that happened once 6 years ago. These are examples just from last year. Now, at this point, these type of results are happening daily on WAP. In fact, multiple times a day, as you've seen with this example. Because that's exactly what happens when you develop your digital product in the right way, when you upload it to WAP for it to distribute, and then deliver your product for you. Now, after that conversation that we had with the WAP team, we've become obsessed, if you will, with studying and researching how other people are optimizing the amount of time spent on their digital products. Now, we've also studied the way that the WAP algorithm uses that to rank your digital product. Here's what we understand. There are 2 specific metrics that you can use to influence user time spent on your digital products. And if you can maximize these 2 metrics, you'd essentially be forcing WAP to recommend your product to everyone. Now, it is by maximizing these 2 simple parameters inside of their digital product that Richard has gotten over 5,000 customers passively from the WAP marketplace for his wholesale digital product. Now, the most important thing to understand here is that by doing that, you're getting free distribution. That's why this is virtually a zero-risk business model, because you don't have to invest any money to make the money back. You can get started virtually for $0. Now, imagine if you had a physical product, a cereal brand, let's just say. Imagine this is your cereal brand. And now imagine someone came up to you and they offered you to put your cereal on the best shelves at the top of the supermarket in your country, in your city, I should say. No cost to you, like if it was completely free. Would you take that deal? Who here would take that deal? Yes. Right, of course you would. Now, the obvious question that you're probably asking yourself right now is, why would somebody offer you a deal like that? If WAP is already so successful, why would they give me free distribution? How come they even need me as a brand new person there? Now, here's what's interesting. WAP has a funny problem that's not very normal. WAP has more customers than they have sellers, way more. Last year, in only 30 days, there were over 571,000 unique transactions on WAP. That's 500,000 transactions on WAP. That means that there's 500,000 unique customers wanting to buy what you sell. And this number is growing exponentially every single month. The problem is that they only have around 10,000 sellers to supply that demand, meaning there's a huge gap. It's like having this huge supermarket that's filled with people wanting to buy stuff, but they simply don't have enough products to fill out the shelves. The WAP marketplace right now is literally the untapped source of buyers that's moving $2 to $3 million a month in sales passively. And you get access to it for free. WAP never invested a single dollar in marketing. Everyone selling on their platform heard of them organically, meaning very people know about this premium distribution opportunity. Now, they are slowly kicking up their marketing, which means they are pushing more and more people onto their platform. Now, that means that you are early. It's almost like one of the best kept secrets hiding in plain sight, if you will. Now, if you're here at this event, you are one of the first people to even hear about this new marketplace. And most importantly, we have a little bit of a selfish interest in making sure that you succeed with your digital product. Now, let me explain. The reason being is because the more money that you make, the more money that we make. Now, we have figured out this way that I can show you how to make money, and if you succeed, then we succeed as well. And this way, our value increases based on your value. We created a situation just like Jeff Bezos. And so how did Jeff Bezos actually become the richest person in the world? Well, he didn't sell every single product on Amazon. Essentially, Jeff Bezos created a process for people to sell on Amazon. And by making them a bunch of money, he was able to make money himself. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me unpack this. I'll show you how this makes sense. And this is why I'm excited, and me and my entire team here are excited to get as many people as possible to sell the digital products on WAP. Because Jeff Bezos actually created a term for this entire model, and it is called the Amazon flywheel. And this flywheel effect is the whole reason that Amazon became one of the biggest companies on earth and allowed tens of thousands of people to make millions in the process. The Amazon flywheel effect is, number one, more products on the platform means more customer visits. More customers increase the volume of sales. And then more sales attracts more sellers to the site. And then with more sellers, there's even more products. It's a self-reinforcing loop. You feed any part of this flywheel and the loop is accelerated. Everyone wins and everyone grows more rapidly. The customer base, the volume of sales, the amount of sellers, etc. Now let me give you an example of this flywheel in practice. Picture this. Imagine a town square with this beautiful carousel right at the center. At first, a few merchants show up and they set up their shop right around the carousel. As people come to ride the carousel, they naturally stop browsing and buying from these merchants. And then the town notices something interesting. Every time they add a new merchant to the square, more people visit. Now here's the crazy part. Not only does the new merchant get customers, but all of the existing merchants see more sales too. Why? Because the variety draws larger crowds and people buy from multiple merchants. Now, the more merchants the town adds, the more visitors they get, and the more that these visitors spend. So the more visitors spend money, the more merchants want to join, and then the entire marketplace becomes increasingly valuable to everybody involved. And this is exactly what is happening with WAP's digital marketplace right now. Each new creator who joins doesn't just compete for the same pool of customers anymore, they actually expand the entire ecosystem. Every new digital product attracts more buyers to the platform, which benefits all of the sellers. More buyers then attract even more sellers, creating the powerful acceleration effect. So the more other people sell, the more you sell, because you'd all be growing the marketplace. It's the tide that lifts all boats. Holly says that's powerful. I would agree. Just think back to the Amazon example. Have you ever seen someone who has only purchased at Amazon once? No, obviously not. People buy on Amazon multiple times from multiple different sellers. So the more customers, the more all of the sellers on Amazon make. And the same thing happens here. WAP is building a self-reinforcing system where more sellers create more value for everyone. Buyers find more options, existing sellers get more exposure, and the platform becomes increasingly more powerful at distribution. Now, this is why WAP is so motivated to bring creators like you onto their platform right now. You're not just another vendor. You are a crucial part of growing that flywheel that makes the entire marketplace more valuable for everybody involved. It's just like getting in on Amazon early, but for digital products. So the question that I have for you, is this starting to make more sense about how WAP works? And while you answer in the chat, I'm going to take a swig of my water. %, absolutely. Yes, it does. Amazing. You really are just one digital product away from unlocking a new stream of income. And we haven't even covered the best part yet, which is multiplying your income streams. And I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first, how do people discover your product? Well, excuse me. Imagine you are walking through a premium grocery store. What's a premium grocery store in California? Air One? Is that really? Never been there. Air One? Will the rest of America? Do you guys know what Air One is or no? Somebody said Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. I'm a pretty big Whole Foods guy myself. Okay, well, Air One is in California. It's like where all the LA people go, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're walking through Air One or Whole Foods. Let's go with Whole Foods, okay? You're walking through Whole Foods. You reach the ice cream section, and right at eye level, the absolute best spot in the freezer is a plain brown cardboard container with no label. It just has the words chocolate ice cream, handwritten with a marker. In that situation, are you buying that ice cream? Drop in the chat. Nope. No. Of course you wouldn't. Even if that plain container had the most delicious ice cream in the world, nobody would take the risk on it. And this is exactly what happens with digital products. Distribution gets your product on the right shelf in front of the right eyes, but it's your packaging that makes someone stop scrolling and think, yes, this is exactly what I need. Your package needs to accomplish two things. Number one, it needs to build immediate trust. And then number two, it needs to elicit buying desire. And we do that through two elements. Packaging equals your product page plus your product video. So starting with your product page, what you don't want to do is you don't want a complicated design, you don't want a lot of text, and you don't want super fancy animations. Now, some teams add that. My team tries to do that sometimes, but it really makes no difference. What you need is a very specific model of page for this to actually work properly. Now, just like on Amazon, every single product looks exactly the same. And that's exactly what we want here as well, because it simply works. All of the successful digital products out there follow a very similar product page structure. If you pay attention, they all have a few elements in common. Now take a look and see if you can spot them here. If you spot them, drop it in the chat below. This is the product page for the woodworking digital product that sold millions of dollars that I told you about a couple days ago. I'm going to give it a minute here. Come on now, people. Somebody said video button. This is the product page for a top-selling digital product on how to produce quality, safe drinking water. I don't know about you, but this is looking like a scam to me. It's not, okay? Buttons, ClickBank product, buy now, click here button, simple big button, price. This is the product page for that speed reading and memory boosting course that I told you about. Value, okay, video, call to action, value, button, video, Liz said. One photo. What do you see in common between all of them? Reviews, somebody said, video, call to action. They all have a video, which some of you have said. They all have a button, they all have a call to action, they all solve a problem, somebody said, et cetera, et cetera. You're all very, very close. But it's actually none of that. It's the text, which most of you got right, but more specifically, it is the heading. Now, we call it a headline, and that is the title above the video. Now, what's the last one? Some of you got it right. The last thing is a button, which is a call to action. And then the third thing is a video, but we'll talk about that in a second. Some people call it a call to action. Some people call it a button. Just the super smart people will call it a call to action or whatever. The marketers call it a call to action. There we go. But it's a button. It's a call to action. You are all right. Now, all you really need is a page with a video, number one. Number two is a headline. And number three is a button. That's literally all you need. When people get your page, those are the only elements that they should see. If they are seeing more than that, then that's just distractions. Now, of course, when they scroll down, you can add more information about your digital product and so on. But honestly, you don't even need to. These three elements are literally all you need. Now, you're going to see some of the highest selling digital product pages, and all they have is these three elements and nothing more. You can't even scroll down on some of them. And the most important part of this page, how many of you, what can you guess is the most important part? Come on, let me see it in the chat. How many of you think this is the most important part? What is the most important part of those three elements? Button, headline, button, call to action, video, heading, video. Probably seeing more, headline. More of you think it's the headline. The most important part of that video is actually, important part of the page is the video. There you go, you got it, the video. Now, one single one of these videos is all you need to sell tens of thousands of units of your digital product. And I know this can sound slightly overwhelming at first, and some of you might even be thinking, well, how do I even put together a video like that? How do I put together a video that can make millions of dollars? But you don't even have to worry about that yet. What we have is a proven script that we have developed over years of testing and actually millions of dollars in sales, and is carefully structured to elicit the right emotions at the right moment. But to be honest, you don't even need to know the script yourself. Now, we just made it even simpler for anybody who actually wants to go and create one of these videos with a software, but I will talk more about that here in a moment. Now, regardless, once you develop your video for your digital product, can you imagine the freedom that you have of having a single video working for you 24/7 that's converting complete strangers into buyers while you sleep, while you travel, while you do whatever you do? Now, I mentioned yesterday, I should say this, during that session, I was selling digital products while I was on a live for you. I'm not there on a sales call. I'm not there pitching to somebody. In fact, no, I've made sales when nobody on my team was selling anything. Remember what I said at the beginning? We're forgetting the word sales. Now, for this video, you can take the exact same faceless approach that we mentioned to create a digital product. So it's the same thing. And you can do something like recording a screen sharing, which I talked about yesterday, I believe. So that's how we create this video. Now, what about the page itself? Well, that's what WAP here is for. They have all of this built out for you. Now, if you take a look at the digital products on WAP, they all follow this exact same page structure because WAP has it all built, pre-built for you. All you need to do is add your video in there, change the headline and the text on the button, and the rest is all taken care of for you. Now, after people click this button on the page, they go directly to a checkout page where WAP takes care of the entire payment processing. And that is your delivery system. And you literally don't have to do anything. WAP takes care of all of the delivery for you. It even gives you premium payment options, such as buy now, pay later. Now, if you guys don't know, that is the #1 payment method online today. In fact, 63% of generated admission tickets for Coachella were paid with buy now, pay later options. What does that mean? That means if you try to do that yourself, you would miss out on almost 70% of your sales. And that is why we use WAP for delivery. And not only that, they take care of delivering the product for you automatically every single time a new customer purchases it. So you don't have to email anyone. You don't have to send access information, et cetera, et cetera. All of it is automated when somebody buys your product through WAP. Now, step 3 is to tap into other distribution channels to multiply your income. Doing this essentially multiplies your chances of success. Now, let's start with the first distribution channel, which is search. The rationale, the rationale is simple. There's tons of people already searching for what you sell online. Drop in the chat if you know what the #1 search engine is in the world. This one is so incredibly easy. Google. Literally Google. Very easy. Google. Now, Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Drop in the chat if you know what the second biggest search engine is in the world. And I bet you won't get it right. Bing, Yahoo, ChatGPT, Amazon, DuckDuckGo, Safari, ChatGPT. Okay, having said none of you got it right, I think more of you got it right than I thought. The answer is actually not Bing, it is YouTube. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. Now, here's the funny thing that most people do not notice. When you search something on Google, if the answer to that search is in a video, Google will also recommend you YouTube videos to watch to answer that question. It'll recommend YouTube videos as search results. Now, the opposite is not true. If somebody searches for something on YouTube, YouTube won't show a Google article or website as a search result. It is only going to show you videos. What does this mean? This means that if you create the right video, you can get it distributed in the two biggest search engines in the world simultaneously. And guess what? The more views that you get from Google searches, the more it boosts your video. So the more views you get from YouTube as well. So when you create a video that ranks both on Google and YouTube, the amount of distribution that you start to get is insane. And so just so that you can understand how achievable it is to get views in a video, there are over 14, this is going to blow your mind, 14,000 searches for how to grow tomatoes on Google. Tomatoes, but it's tomatoes, okay? Let's stick with the script. It's tomatoes, okay? 14,000 searches on how to grow tomatoes in a single day, not every year. In a single day, 14,000 people are searching that. I don't know who on this call is searching that, but I hope it's successful. Okay. Now, that's only for one specific phrase, which is how to grow tomatoes. If you consider all of the other variations, like how to grow tomatoes in a container, growing tomatoes, etc., all the different variations of typing it out, it gets insane. Now, if you have a simple digital product on that topic, to get 18,000 views, you'd only need about 5% of the people searching for how to grow tomatoes to actually watch your video. And that's in a day. So for you to get those $200,000, in order for you to get to that $200,000, you would need to get those 18,000 views once. Not once a day. It can even be over months. Now, if you wanted to get up to those 18,000 views in 4 months, let's just say, you would only need about 150 views a day on your video. 150 views a day on a video is a lot more achievable than 18,000, 14,000, 100,000 in a day. 150 is very much possible. Now, that is the power of search distribution, and that is how easily it can scale. By the way, anything that you make from these other distribution channels is all in addition to your WAP income. It's not one or the other, it can be both. Now, when I talk about posting a video on YouTube, I'm not talking about becoming a YouTuber or posting videos every single week. No. We are more strategic with what we do here. Now, I want you to think about these videos as creating a few strategic distribution assets that take people to your product. You can create them once, and that's it. And they're going to be positioned there in a place where every single day there are new people coming in. So you don't need to be recording new videos every single week. Now, some people choose to do so, and they do very well, but it's not a requirement. All you actually need is about 3 to 5 videos positioned in the right place, and those videos will live and bring in sales on autopilot for your product for a long time, as long as you do them correctly. Now, I know whenever I talk about creating videos, people they go all desperate, and they think, but what am I going to even talk about in these videos? I don't have anything to talk about. And then, do I have to sell in this video? I'm not good at selling. How do I even do this? But it's actually much easier than you think, and a lot of people just overcomplicate the entire process. Now, first of all, there's no selling. I can answer that question right now. What we do here is distribution, so there's no need for selling. And you do already have things to talk about in your video. You just don't know how to frame the video with the stuff that you already have. For example, you have a digital product on growing tomatoes, okay? Let's say in this digital product, you give people 20 hacks to grow the tomatoes faster. All you need to do if you don't all you need to do if you want to optimize for the people searching how to grow tomatoes is create a video, for example, like my top 3 hacks to growing your tomatoes faster. And then what do? You show 3 of the 20 hacks that you teach people in your digital product. Wave at me in the chat if this is making sense to some of you. At the end of the video, you just say, hey, by the way, this is the 3 of the 20 hacks that I show inside my digital product. The Tomato Grower Blueprint. Terrible name. but you get what I mean, okay? If you you tell them that if you want to access all the other 17 tips that I haven't shown you in this video, then you can get them in the link in the description. And then you just link them to your product that we just talked about, and that will take them to WAP, and WAP handles the rest. So your perpetual conversion video will do all of the work for you after that, which is on your page. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about the second distribution channel. The second distribution channel that we're taking advantage of is socials. And that includes everything from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, to Twitter, and even LinkedIn. And again, you don't have to show your face here. You can take the exact same approach as you did on YouTube, just using a background video, cinematics, text on a video, whatever it is. Now, the question is, what type of content do you even create for these platforms? Some people would say, like, I've never created content before, I don't know how to do that, etc. Well, guess what? The answer is exactly the same as in the last distribution channel. My top 3 hacks to growing tomatoes faster. That's it. There's no need to overcomplicate this entire process. The only difference here is that you're going to need more posts. And that is why I recommend that you get into this distribution channel once you've already tapped into search distribution. Now, how do you come up with more posts? Well, that's the beauty of social distribution. You don't actually need to. You can have the exact same content just packaged in different ways. Because really, what matters in these social platforms is only the first few seconds of your video or the first few lines of your post. The actual content of it can be exactly the same. So you can take these, the same 3 hacks to grow your tomatoes, and you can turn that into 20 different posts. All you have to do is change the first sentence of the video. So 3 secrets to growing tomatoes like professional farmers. Here are 3 tricks that will cut out 3 weeks off your tomato growing time. Stop making these 3 beginner tomato growing mistakes. I've been getting the best tomatoes of my life for 90 days and doing these 3 things, etc. You're welcome to steal my YouTube titles if you'd like. And there's 3 more on the screen here. I won't read them. Now, I actually have an AI assistant to basically create all of this content for me so that I don't even have to write all of the content myself. And I actually was very briefly showing the VIPs this. And so this is for people who want a done-for-you solution. If you don't want to do it yourself, you just click a few buttons in the software and it pretty much does everything for you. It's super good if you're busy or if you don't want to learn how to create content yourself, etc. If you don't want to script videos, so on and so forth. Now, actually, all of these content ideas that I just mentioned, they were all created by this exact same AI tool. It's one of its functionalities, if you will. So if you're all interested in that, I can show you more about it later. Now, the cool thing about socials is this. It's that you can create a video for each one of the angles that I just mentioned. And those same videos you can post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube Shorts, etc. You create once, and then you tap into dozens of different social distribution channels. Do you understand how scalable this distribution system is? Like, is this starting to make sense to some of you guys? Drop a yes in the chat if you're starting to understand the power of having multiple distribution channels. Yes. Now, I want you to pay attention to these 2 people here. I struggle to say his name all the time. I may get it wrong, and I hope he doesn't see this. No, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to say Julio. I'm not even going to try the first one because I don't be rude. Well, one of these guys, these are 2 guys, okay? This is the story from somebody else told me the story, so it's like a second version story. Okay, one of these guys used to sell used cars, and then the other one worked at a nonprofit. The 2 of them came together, and by the way, there's proof of all of this, so just bear with me. The 2 of these guys, they created a digital product together, and they decided to get into 2 distribution channels. They decided to get into WAP, and they decided to get into social distribution, and more specifically, step into Twitter. Now, after a single tweet got a little bit of traction for them, 3,000 people signed up in the span of just 10 days to their digital product. And as a result, this digital product started to rank on WAP's marketplace top charts. And that was netting both of them an additional 450 signups from shoppers on that marketplace. Now, that was several months ago. Fast forward to today, and both of them have successfully created a 7-figure business with this single digital product. Now, this is the beauty of distribution. One distribution channel boosts the other one. So those 3,000 people that they brought into WAP, they're going to buy more products inside of WAP, meaning the more others sell, the more you sell just by having your digital product listed there on WAP. So it's essentially a win-win situation. And that is the exact power of the flywheel that we talked about earlier, but in practice. So can you see how powerful it is when one distribution channel feeds another, creating that cycle where even other people's sales help boost your own product. Now, drop me a number one if you want to be a part of an ecosystem like that, where someone makes a sale and it ends up putting more money into your product. One. Somebody say, great session so far. I appreciate it. Now, to this day, I have never seen anything like this. Something so safe to start and that requires so little to getting traction. Now, the risk is dramatically lower and the potential is exponentially higher. And that's why digital products have been one of my favorite industries for years now. Historically, it has always been such a difficult industry to get into because the barrier of entry was so high. But right now in 2026, something that never happened before is now possible. What used to be the hardest part of the business, which is creating your actual digital product, has now become one of the easiest. And if before you needed to create your own distribution channels from scratch, you can now get free distribution through WAP, so that you don't even have to worry about the things of all the different, what's the word I'm looking for? All the different distribution frameworks. The second thing you don't have to worry about is sales, because you are playing by the distribution laws and not the sales laws. Now, there's never been a better time to do it yourself, thanks to how easy AI and WAP make all of this. So literally anyone can tap in this industry, even if you have zero expertise, and that's even if you are working a full-time job. This works if you have no authority, this works even if you have a family as well, and this works even if you've never made a single dollar online. And I say this because I've seen people who do not have an online business step into online business using WAP. Now, everything that I've shown you today, you just have to do it once. How many of you understand, or how many of you believe, I should say, that you can do this just once? How many of you can do it just once? Me? Trying? Yes. Me? Yes. Me. Now, especially with AI to actually help you develop your product, and then WAP to help you distribute your product for free when you first get started. Now, as you've seen already, the more sales that other people get on WAP, the more sales you get. So can you see how powerful it is to be part of an insane cycle, a flywheel system where even other people's sales help boost your own product? And the truth is, deep inside, you've always known that this internet thing works and it can be very profitable. And this is because you've seen people do this. But what you were missing up until now was knowing exactly what the best options are and which options you should take when you're starting from absolute zero. You now know that combining digital products with AI is the best opportunity to start an online business in 2026, not 2025. You know the exact 4 steps to create a non-expert digital product from zero using AI, even on topics you know nothing about. You now know the formats that work best and the ones that don't. You know how to get free distribution to your digital product with WAP, and you know how to go from 1 to 3 to 4 and 5 income sources with the same product by expanding your distribution channels. And that is exactly why yesterday I opened up this opportunity for you so that you and I can actually win in this same digital product game together. And for those of you that want to have me and my team as your partner inside of Digital Launch. And the reason was that is so that we can work together for the next 90 days on taking you from wherever you are right now, regardless of your situation, to having a digital product with the potential of replacing your current income. Not 2 years from now, not 1 year from now, but in 90 days. So my question to you is this: are you ready to commit, whether inside of Digital Launch or outside of Digital Launch? That's besides the point. Are you ready to commit for the next 90 days? Commit to yourself to building your digital product. Yes, 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 yes. Now, if 90 days, the question I have for you is if in 90 days, all it took for you to take the first steps to break from your current situation and then step into a new situation, if all it was 90 days, would you take that shot? Somebody said much more expensive outside of Digital Launch. Hey, you said it, not me, okay? Well, all of that is exactly what you get inside of Digital Launch. Now, that is not the first thing that you get inside of, that's only the first thing that you get inside of Digital Launch, but that's not the only thing you get inside of Digital Launch. And that is when the bonuses that I was talking about come into the picture. Now, if you know us, you know that when we put stuff out there, our job is to make it as great as humanly possible. Now, we are giving you free, unlimited access to AROS. And this is so that all you need to do to create your first digital product is click a few buttons inside of the software, And the AIs will begin to create your digital product with you. And they can do it not in months, but in a matter of hours, even on topics that you know nothing about. And with that, the hardest part of this entire process, which is creating the actual product, becomes the easiest part of the process because you now have AI as your 24/7 assistant doing all of the hard work for you. You see, the first is all about the first step of the process, which is developing your product. And WAP gives you a head start on the second step, which is distribution. They give you standard distribution for free. Now, let me skip past a couple of these slides. Historically, having to figure out how to create your digital product, you would spend hundreds of hours creating content. You'd be spending money hiring script writers, content creators, editors, etc. And then you'd have to put this all together yourself. Now, the question is that actually worth doing? Well, 100%, but it's a lot of work. And now, what if there was a way for you to have a digital army of content working for you 24/7, created with just a few simple button pushes and then spreading all over the internet like wildfire? Well, I can say that for those of you that know the Goshen YouTube channel, the channel that you're on right now, not only is the content, it's not all created by AI, okay? Dan Rover is not an AI. Do not catch this from what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that he has a digital assistant and digital AI that helps him piece his videos together in a way that communicates so effectively. And as you can tell, there's just over 50,000 subscribers on there. These AI tools can help you post on YouTube, they'll help you post on Instagram, help you post on TikTok, help you post on Facebook. Now, here's the deal. Imagine if you had a team of the best copywriters and the best content creation experts on the planet for you, working for you 24/7, creating unlimited amounts of content that actually attract pre-sold buyers. What if it could create video scripts that get views and sales? What if it could create short form content that goes viral and brings in customers? And you could get all of it with just a few clicks. No learning curve, no hiring expensive writers, no stressing about what to create next, just pure automated content. The kind of content that usually costs 6 figures and an absolute migraine to develop, created for you just in minutes. Not hours, not days, in minutes. Well, that is AROS, which we have force-fed this beast of an AI with all of the intelligence that we have from multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns and digital product campaigns that have been incredibly successful for us. It's been fed with all of that information. Now, here's what that means in practice. Let's say you wanted to get into search distribution. Search distribution. You don't know what topics, you don't know what ideas, you don't know what angles to create that are optimized for YouTube, right? Well, AROS is going to create all of the video ideas for you. If you don't know how to write the scripts for the videos, AROS writes the scripts for you. And let's say you now want to use that same video concept to create dozens of short form content for social distribution. Well, if you don't know how to turn that one concept into 10, 20, 30 different short form videos, AROS is going to go and create these new concepts for you and then write the scripts for each one of them. This is not some cute little AI bot. This is not some ChatGPT makeover here. This is a full-blown done for you customer tracking system. Now, when you join Digital Launch, if you join Digital Launch, you are going to get full access to this special software, AROS, 100% free. This is the same system that enterprise clients will pay $3,000 a year to use, but it is given away for free when you join. Most AI tools are like a one-size-fits-all. It's like trying to perform surgery with a plastic knife. AROS, on the other hand, is like having a full team of robotic surgeons performing the surgery for you. A little scary, yes. Effective, hopefully. Now the question is, what would it mean for you? What would it mean for your family? What would it mean for your why if you could instantly create the kind of content that brings in customers? And what if you could do all of that using cutting technology that not 1 in a million even knows exists? Now, I know I'm getting close to my time here. And before I give you your homework, I want to make sure you leave with another workbook and you leave with all your access and everything. Now, before I give you your homework, I want to tell you very, very quickly about the one-on-one calls that we had with my team. I'll be completely honest with you. I've been very much unprepared. Me and my team have all been unprepared with just how quickly all of you are moving. We opened up 250 spaces. I thought it would take us the whole week to fill those out. I really didn't think it would be that crazy that quick. So my apologies. I already gave my apology yesterday, but Miss Staveta said extraordinary value. That well, I'm glad you were blessed. but we've been a little bit unprepared. So I just want to clarify everything. Those 250 plus the 150 that we added yesterday, those are all gone. I know some of you are sending support tickets in. You're asking us, hey, can I get my call, etc. And unfortunately, those are gone. Now, although I'm a little sad to see them gone, I also have heard some really great feedback on how those calls are going. And so I am quite glad that so many of you got calls on my team. Hopefully you feel blessed by them. Hopefully you've been given some freebies on them as well, which I asked my team to do. Now, having said that, I've also heard that many of you are wanting to hear more about digital launch. You guys are asking to hear about the price. You're asking to hear about how it works. What does joining look like? When can you join? When does it start? What access do you get? Is it unlimited? So many of you, I know you guys want to know the price too. I totally hear all of that. What I want to explain that only my team is fit to share all of that with you one-on-one. It is not a YouTube-wide conversation. It's something to be explained one-on-one, all the details, the access, the onboarding, as well as the pricing. There are payment plans available for people that want to break it down to something that's very affordable every month. And so it's not a conversation to be had over YouTube. Now, some of you are like, hey, please don't let me lose my spot in digital launch. I really want to get access. Some of you are having to wait. I've seen about 2, some even 3 weeks to get a call. So my apologies. What I've done, I have a solution for you, is I've gone and have asked 3 of my guys to clear their calendars and open up what I'm calling a fast track. And so this fast track, it allows anybody who is still interested in joining digital launch, you can use this link to get a booking. And that means you can speak with my team. And if you are interested in moving forward, you'll be able to get access to digital launch same day. So you're essentially skipping around everybody else's conversations, and you can just go straight to speaking with them. And there's no catch here. It's like you don't have to pay any money to get on the phone. If you're interested, my team will clear up their calendar to speak with you. And this allows some people to move a lot faster. Now, the option, I'll tell you more about this in a second, but yeah, this is the piece right here. If you would like to put down a deposit for this call, you absolutely can. It's a reminder. It's completely optional. But as a reminder, the deposit is still available. So those 150 spaces in digital launch aren't gone yet, which means that's still an option for you. Now, here's what happens if you do decide to put down a deposit. You can put down a $250 deposit today, and that will secure your spot inside of digital launch. It just essentially saves your spot while you decide. It saves your spot for you to figure it out. That means that even if we even if we hit capacity today, you're still locked in. We'll save your spot for you because that deposit is in, which means your spot is guaranteed. That means that we won't sell more than 150. Now, it also unlocks 2 bonuses for you just waiting. Bonus number 1 is an artificial intelligence course that we originally sold for $1,000. The whole topic is on artificial intelligence versus divine intelligence. Great course, in my opinion. Bonus number 2 that we're giving is a Building Goshen course, which is valued at $2,000. And this one just so happens to be one of our Goshen members' favorite courses of all time because of how transformative it actually is. Now, both of these will be added on top of digital launch if you do decide to move forward. Now, you'll only get these if there was a deposit. Now, that deposit, just to be really, really clear, is 100% refundable. If you change your mind, even before your call, after your call, whatever it is, you can send our team an email and we will refund your $250. No questions asked. The deposit purely holds your spot until you actually decide once you speak with our team. Now, what was I going to say? There was something else I was about to say, but I forgot. I can't remember. If I remember, so if you're sending our team our message, I will say this again later on the session, because we've had thousands and thousands of people live on these events, you can just imagine how many tickets we get. So if you don't mind being just a little bit more patient with my team, we are flying through tickets, hundreds a day even, just to get back to people, making sure people get access, get digital launch, etc. So if you don't mind giving me a little bit more patience, I would appreciate it. It's not going to be weeks. It's definitely not going to be weeks. I promise you that. But you're probably not going to get an answer within the same hour. Just give me a little bit more time than that. I would appreciate it. Okay, so if you would like the fast track, you want to speak with my team about digital launch, save your spot, make sure that your spot is not taken by anybody else, well, now is the time for us to drop that fast track link in the comments. We're going to drop that in 3, 2, 1. And by the way, we've rerouted the joingoshen.com domain to actually head to that new fast track link. So if you would like that, you're more than welcome to click it. It's not a requirement, but I know some of you have asked for it, so there you go. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this, and I mentioned this with the VIPs as well. I know sometimes that what I say may sound too good to be true, and the results that I show here and how I simply make things sound, they can sound too good to be true. I want to make it very clear, and I made it very clear at the beginning of this challenge. This is not going to make somebody rich overnight. You're not going to have the exact same results that we've had and other people have had just in a matter of days. It's just not realistic. Now, what we can do is we can give you the knowledge, we can give you the direction, we can give you all of the tools that you need, and we can give you the incentives that you need to actually put in the work. Now, how much you're going to make and how fast it will happen is purely dependent on how much effort that you put into actually executing and making the most out of the advantages that we've stacked for you inside of Digital Launch. Now, I'm saying this, but I already know if you're here on day 3, you're committed. You can even see the view numbers. The view numbers have gone down since day 1. That's not surprising at all. That's very, very normal for an online event because people just don't commit. People do not stick with one thing to figure it out. No shame on anybody that's left. Some people are busy. Some people have busy lives. That's okay. You are not someone that's like that, though. You are somebody who is committed. You have committed into making this change in your life. That's whether you're in Digital Launch or not inside of Digital Launch. You are committing to develop your digital product. Now, for everybody else, it's time for your homework. So here's your homework. Your homework is to write down what's going to be the first distribution channel that you'll expand to after listing your digital product on WAP. Think about all of the different distribution strategies that we've covered today. I want you to think about everything that was covered today, and then I want you to write down each one of them onto a piece of paper. Split that paper into 2 different columns. Write this down. And then one of those columns, write down what you like about each distribution channel. And then on the other column, write down what you don't like about it. And then analyze your answers very carefully. And then from that, I want you to make a decision. And then write your final answer down. And then keep this paper. And then what I want you to do is I want you to set an alarm on your calendar for 90 days from now to remind you to come back to this piece of paper. I know not everybody on this call will do this, but the ones who do, I know will be moving forward. Now, I want you to stick to what you wrote down here for 90 days. If you can do that, you're going to be so incredibly surprised about how much your life can change in the next 90-day period. Why? Because you've committed to something. Now, this is your commitment to yourself to make this work. Now, last but not least, as always, every single day, I will send you a workbook in the student portal for the challenge. In fact, the workbook is going to unlock here shortly. Now, if you are not there yet, you can join by registering using the link in the description. Team, if we could add that in there, it's going to appear here in a moment. You might need to refresh your page, but we'll drop that in the next couple minutes, which is access to the student portal. It is free. You can create your account. If you already have an account, you can sign in. So next thing is going to be your workbook password. As a reminder, everybody, every single workbook has its own password that you need to be here live to actually get that workbook password. So without the password, there's no workbook. If you're not here, there's no password. Now, the password for today is distribute, all caps. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you. All caps, distribute. People are sending support tickets in saying, hey, what's the password? What's the password? And then they're not doing all caps. So all caps, distribute, take a screenshot if you need. That is the password for day 3's workbook. How do you find this workbook? The workbook is in the student portal. Eileen said, guessed that, lol. You were paying attention. I love it. See how it works? You have to be here live in order to guess it. Or you just have to be here until the end to actually guess it. Somebody in the chat says, where do I go to put down a deposit? The link is in the description of the YouTube video, or it's in the chat on the VIP Zoom. So if you'd like to do that, now is the time to do that, unless we run out of spaces. Just back a little bit on the table. Unless we run out of spaces, in which case we'll have to let you know. Okay. This is the part of the session that we're going to transition slightly. Hey, look at me, 5:04. I finished on time today. This is great. Very much unlike my day 1. That's funny. So it's day 1. I was more on time. Thank you very much, everybody. Now, of course, we still have another day tomorrow to go over things. So tomorrow's last day. And by the way, let me just say this. Tomorrow, I have a very, very special session that I will talk to all of you about that is different from the main session. I'm not going to tell you about it until tomorrow, though, because you know how this stuff works. I will tell you about it tomorrow. So not only do I have a workbook for you, not only do I have a giveaway for you, but I also have a bonus session for tomorrow. Matthew just said, what happened to the bonus day? There you go. It is, I will tell you more about it tomorrow, and it is right after the session. So I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. Now, as a reminder, everybody, since we're kind of moving into this more laid back, informal session, we're going to do a bit of Q&A. This is going to get cut from the replay. So you will not be able to hear this part again. If you'd like to fire away your questions, now's the time. If you leave, you leave. That's okay. You just won't be able to get the Q&As. Matthew says, love what you're doing. I appreciate that, Matthew. Thank you. Susie says, thank you. Terrific tips today.